Welcome, everybody, back to the Tiz Talk podcast. I am your host, Chuck Tiz, aka Taylor S., and this is episode 12. We are recording live, or I'm recording live from Houston, Texas, and I got some special guests on the show tonight. I got my buddy No Mercy, and remind me your name, buddy, that I haven't met yet. It's something with an app.
Young Cash App.
Young Cash App. All right. Man, young money. I get it. All right, fellas. Welcome to the show. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having us, man.
Yeah. Absolutely, man. You know, that's how we do it on the Tiz Talk podcast, man. You know, we got a lot of things to talk about, you know. I've been doing this for a little bit. I know you guys are trying to jump in the game, and I figured, let's collab. Let's do a little collab, you know?
Yeah, no, I appreciate you getting us on. This is going to be fun. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I usually like to start off doing a couple things on my show, but No Mercy, why don't you and Young Cash App kind of introduce yourselves? Well, No Mercy, I mean, me and you go way back, and I've known No Mercy.
How long have we known each other? I've known you since 2008?
Yeah, something like that. About 12 years, something like that. When you were in Houston back then, yeah. And I've never met Young Cash App, but sounds like a cool kid if he's all about the young moolah, baby.
Well, we have our own podcast. We have Red Boy, Blue Boy podcast, which we stream live all the time on YouTube. We're coming up on our 6th episode right now, and we're just kind of trying to enhance and evolve. And it's a multi-camera, multi-person, multi-everything kind of podcast. So we're trying to expand and get on different platforms.
Yeah,
that's exciting.
Exactly. And when I found out that No Mercy was trying to do this, I was like, look, man, like, I've been looking at your stuff, I've been watching it. I'm like, you know, you need to go at all angles. You can't just do it on YouTube. If you're going to do a pod, you got to have it on all platforms on pod and have it on, you know, YouTube or whatever. But not to say that like I know more than you or anything. I'm just saying this is a good way to structure it. And I want you guys successful because I've gained a lot of success in the past 3 months just by doing this show. I mean, I'm already up to 1,300 subscribers just by, you know, being on all the platforms, multiple guests on the show.
That's awesome.
Yeah. You know, it's been pretty cool. It's fun. It's a way to vent. I don't do it for the money. I do it because it's therapeutic. I do it because I want to share the love with the people out there and just kind of speak what's on my mind. You know, I want to speak with some of my mind. We might have my buddy Jared, just to let you know, he's 19 years old. He goes to Tulane University. He might jump in here in a little bit. I sent him a link, but you know, I don't know if he is or not. Whether he does or doesn't, we got plenty of things to talk about, things that have been going on in the world. But the first thing I really like to do on my pods with new guests are ask a couple of questions, okay? Okay. So, No Mercy. Young Cash App. Today, what do you think the current world population is today? Don't cheat. Guess.
Dude, I don't know, man.
Just take a guess. That's what I said. Guess.
Okay.
I think last time I heard it was in 7 billion. So I'd say, go.
I'd say about 7 billion. Yeah, that sounds about right. Or like maybe 8 billion.
Yeah, I'd say 8 billion.
I'd probably go closer to 8 billion.
Okay, so I'll say I would say your second statement is more correct. It's actually at this very moment we are at 7.76 billion people on the planet currently today. With that being said,
we need more people.
Okay, yeah.
China needs more people.
Oh yeah. So the coronavirus can just keep spreading. You know, the coronavirus. Life's like Corona. Life's a beach, and then you die.
I've never wanted to have a Lyme with my disease since this virus came out.
Well, you just heard it from the Tiz, okay? So, gentlemen, got a couple more questions for you. Just today, how many people do you think were born today? As just today alone?
Today
In the whole world, I'd say
like 15?
Whole world. 15 what? 15 people?
I'd say 300,000.
Okay.
That might be kind of low. But
Wait,
fuck it, I'll stick with it.
no.
300,000? What?
Wait, no, Mercy, go ahead. So I want to hear your answer.
I mean, like I don't even know.
Just guess.
I would say okay.
It's actually gotta be in the
I'm gonna
millions.
say
Definitely
I'm gonna
gotta
say
be
500. I'm gonna say like 1 million people.
1 million people born today. That's
500,000.
okay. All right. Okay. Cash App, you were the closest. It's 336,000 people in climbing.
Oh, bet.
300.
Yeah, 336,000 and climbing as we speak.
Well, I just looked it up.
Yeah.
And it
I
says-
told you not to cheat. You can't look it up,
Okay.
even though I can't see what
All
you're
right.
doing right now.
No more looking up. I'm done looking.
No, there's just a couple questions. Then we're gonna.
look at them.
I mean, and then we're gonna dip into some stuff that you really can't cheat on. But these
I
are
just
just.
didn't realize I signed up for Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Well, don't we all want to
So-
be millionaires? I want to be a billionaire.
Yeah.
There you go.
It sounds like Young Money Cash.
Young Cash App
wants to be a trillionaire.
Go.
All right, next question. How many people do you think died today?
Died like
Yep.
80,000.
Okay. Young Cash App?
I'd say 500,000.
Okay. Both of y'all were wrong. It's 141,000 and climbing. So,
Okay.
with that being said, our net growth population is of just today is 195,000 people and counting just today, meaning basically we're gaining 10 people every second. Kind of crazy, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, that's fucking crazy in my opinion. Now, don't get me wrong. I've done this on a lot of my pods, and I just like to make people aware of what's going on out there. Okay, I got 2 more questions regarding stuff like this, and then we're gonna start moving on.
Okay.
Let's see. How many emails today do you think were sent across the globe?
How many?
Ooh. Across the globe.
Oh, dude, Young Cash App's got this one.
That's
Don't cheat. Don't you fucking
man.
cheat.
I would say 3 billion.
Whoa.
Okay.
All right.
Come on, No Mercy. What you got?
I'm gonna say 500 million.
Okay. It's actually 227 billion and counting strong.
Emails?
Yeah, think about it because how many? I mean, God, one person can send out like 1,000 emails a second if they wanted
That's
to.
true. That's true.
You know what I mean? So, last statistical question. Okay, this one's kind of crazy. How many days? Well, okay, hang on a second. How many days till the end of oil? Okay, that we know about. That we know.
So we sucked the planet dry of oil.
That yes, but only counting the reserves that the human race knows about. Okay, now there could be more, but how many more? How many days or / years? Let's just say years till we run out of the oil that we know that exists. Just guess.
Yeah.
I'd say 80 years.
Okay.
Yeah. Like 50 years.
Okay. No Mercy, you were much closer. It's actually 43 years, but that's not guaranteed.
Finally.
But that's not guaranteed. You were still over. Okay, so if this is the Price is Right, you would have lost.
Hey man, there's gonna be some leftover oil under the ocean.
Right.
Like
I said, this is what
I want to get all. I want to get all the chocolate milk out of the ocean.
Yeah, that Texas tea, son. That Texas tea. But that's just what we know that exists today. Okay, there could be more. There could be less. We don't know, but I'm just saying that is what we know that exists. The human race exists today. Okay. I'm done with those types of questions.
That was fun.
Yeah, I like to, I want to inform the people about what's going on. This is those are scary statistics if you think about it, right?
I mean, I wasn't really scared, but it was interesting.
Well, they're scary statistics because, Jesus. Okay. All right. Let me backtrack for a second, real quick. Young Cash Out and No Mercy. How many people do you think were on the planet Earth at one time? In the year, like, I don't know, let's call it 1880 to 1900. How many people, and around those 20-year period, how many people were on the planet at that time? Around 18
a billion.
Around 18 what?
1880, 1900. How many people do you think at one time were on the planet between around that time, 1880 to 1900? Yeah, around that, right as the Industrial Revolution was kicking off.
Okay, I say 3 billion.
Okay, No Mercy.
I'm gonna go ahead and say like 2 million.
2 million. 2 million. Okay.
In the world.
Okay.
2 billion.
Okay.
200 billion. Dude, I don't know.
Okay, guys. Okay, so there was about 1 billion people on the planet, all the way from the beginning of mankind until about 1900 or 1880, whatever. Okay, so from the beginning of mankind till about 1880 or 1900, there was 1 billion people max on the planet. From 1900 to 2020, we're almost at 8. Now that is an insane growth, exponential growth.
Why do you think that is?
Because of the industrial revolution, medicine, modern medicine.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like with all the technology that's going on, that's why. That is exactly why.
Less miscarriages and more senior citizens.
Well, however you want to look at it, that thing is millions of years go by, we hit 1 billion. And then 120 years go by, and now we're at almost 8. That's fucking crazy.
That is pretty crazy.
That's scary crazy, right? Because at that rate, we're going to have a problem.
Right.
Oh, yeah, we're going to use up the oil way
We're going to use up the oil. We're going to run out of...
I mean, we both live in big cities with massive population.
Yeah.
And you can't fucking get anywhere.
Well, give that...
I drive outside to go to the grocery store. It takes 15
minutes. Okay.
Oh,
by the way, I forgot to say, both these gentlemen live in the Los Angeles area. Chris is... Sorry, No Mercy. He's from Houston. Right. But he lives in Los Angeles now. And I currently do live in Houston, but I'm back and forth between California and Houston a lot. Now, it's just a crazy statistic because, we can only support – there's only enough resources to support so many people, right?
Right.
So at this rate, we might have a problem. And we might not see it in our lifetime, but in our future, like our children's or our children's generation, that's when the real problems are going to start to happen.
Do you think viruses like the coronavirus is kind of the world's natural way of decreasing population?
Of course, it's shown through history. The plague, the black plague. All that stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. It is a way.
Because China's population is the one that's kind of the problem.
That's what I was.
Well, China's at I think China's at 1.39 billion right now.
Right.
Which is
they're the ones that are spreading the diseases now.
Well,
because
they're spreading it, but the problem is there's just so many people there, and it's like. The coronavirus literally can be passed by someone sneezing in their hand, touching a door handle, someone else touching it, and then they get it. It's crazy. It's insane. It's fucking insane.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
It's terrifying. Just coronaviruses alone this year, you have about 2,500 deaths. Now, that's not cases. That's just deaths. I think there's about 50,000 cases now, and that's just what they're reporting on. There's probably more than that. Anyways, sorry, I just wanted to inform you guys on what's going on in the world today. Anyways, with that being said, we're going to move on to the next segment of the day. or of the evening or whatever you want to call it. So first of all, what do you guys think about this whole XFL thing?
XFL. So I used to love the XFL when it first came out.
But it only lasted a year.
I was like, I think I was like 12 years old or something when it first
yeah.
started.
It only lasted a year. It was like in 2000.
Dude, I loved it. Like the receivers would get body slammed, it was great. It was like pro wrestling, but on a
well, that's because Vince McMahon was the fucking founder and is still the founder, but it only lasted a year. It just couldn't have.
Houston has a team. So does LA.
What?
Houston has an XFL team.
The Roughnecks. We're the top team in the whole league right now. We're 3-0. We're the only team. We're the only team that's 3-0.
Yeah, they play at U of H.
Oh, they played at U of H.
Yeah, we play at U of H's new stadium.
I want to see a game, dude.
Dude, I watched all of them. They're sick.
I think it would be time.
We beat LA. We beat y'all the first game. We beat the Wildcats. Y'all are only 1-2.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at the stats right now.
Yeah, we're 3-0.
That's pretty wild.
So with that being said, Chris, do you know the whole history of what's going on with the XFL and how it's tied into the WWE and all that?
I just know that it has ties with the WWE.
Okay.
I don't know the history.
It's still Vince McMahon, right?
Yeah. Okay, yes, correct. Young Money Cash App, whatever. Yes, you are correct. It is Vince McMahon.
Yeah, I like that one.
Young Money Cash App. So the XFL is owned by Vince McMahon, and so what happened was, and I don't know if you guys are wrestling fans. I mean, I was a huge wrestling fan, like back in like the late '90s, back when it was like WCW versus WWF Monday Night Wars. You had the NWO, you had D-Generation X, you had all that shit, suck it and all that bullshit, know. So what's going on? And then eventually WCW, feathered out and got real shitty because they just had horrible management. And then the WWF at the time got bought out in 2001, bought out WCW for a whopping $8 million. $8 million? What the fuck? How do you buy a company for $8 million? I mean, that's insane. I mean, you would think they would have bought it for $1 billion, but that's how shitty WCW got, that Vince was able to buy it for $8 million. That's chump change to that guy.
Right.
Definitely.
Chump change. So here's what happened. So right now, so in the past 20 years, I mean, you've had some other wrestling shows try to pop up, whatever. Like there was TNA or some shit, but it just did.
Yeah, I remember TNA.
Yeah, that shit sucked. It was trash, son, straight trash. But so now Vince went back and said, I'm bringing back, because he's a billionaire now and WWE is a publicly traded company, and he decides, I'm bringing back the XFL. Well, that really, really didn't sit tight with the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Okay. So what did the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars do? He said, fuck Vince McMahon. I'm a billionaire too. I'm going to create my own wrestling league to compete against WWE. Because first of all, WWE right now is total trash. It's TV joke. It's not even fun to watch. They wear
like neon colors and shit.
Well, I mean, they all do. But the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars created and made a deal with TNT, which is what WCW was on back in the day, and now created a wrestling program called AEW. It's called All Elite Wrestling, and they took a bunch of guys from the WWE roster, and now you have competition once again. And actually, I've been watching some of this AEW. You got guys like Diamond Dallas Page. You got Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho. You got Cody Rhodes, Dustin Rhodes, aka Goldust. I mean, you got all these big name guys that went over to AEW. And now you have WWE Monday Night Raw on Monday nights. You have WWE Friday Night SmackDown, but now you have AEW Wednesday Night Dynamite, which I think is the dumbest name ever. But with that being said, dude, it's PG it's TV 14, and these guys on AEW are doing some gnarly ass shit. They are bringing the competition back, which is making the wrestling world finally once again interesting to watch. Okay.
Okay.
I
want
get
to
it.
check that out.
Yeah, it's every Wednesday. Fucking your time, 5 p.m., 7 Central Time.
On what station again?
TNT.
TNT.
Yeah, AEW Wednesday Night Dynamite. It's actually legit, and I mean, and it's forced WWE to get more, more rowdy, get to compete. Because without competition, I mean, if you don't have competition, shit gets boring, and you know that.
Right.
So I'm actually excited about this. I really am. I mean, like, I'm not really a fan of all this new wrestling shit because it's never going to be close to what it was, back in like the late 90s ever. Like
right.
Stone Cold, The Rock, the NWO, you're a DX, Shawn Michaels, Suck It. You had a group of guys that, you'll never see that again, but it's coming. They're trying to get it back to that point. And there was no way that was ever going to happen without this competition. And finally, somebody decided to do it. And it was all because Vince decided to bring the XFL back, which pissed off a lot of people in the NFL. And the guys from the Jacksonville Jaguars said, fuck it, we're billionaires. We're going to go out. You want to come after our business? We're going to go after yours. And actually, they're gaining traction. They really are.
So the AEW is the Jacksonville Jaguars.
No, they fund it.
They fund it. Okay,
Fund it. They fund it. They don't. That's all it is. It's just they fund it because he's like, fuck Vince McMahon, the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. He's like, fuck Vince McMahon. If he wants to come after NFL with XFL, we're going to go after WWE and make our shit tighter and take some of your talent too. By the way. Which they did. It's actually pretty cool.
The XFL has been pretty successful too, hasn't it?
Well, I mean, they just started back up. They're in week 3, but I mean, I enjoyed watching it today. I mean, man, we almost lost to the fucking Tampa Bay Vipers today, and they're 0-3, and we're 3-0. But man, we almost lost to them, literally, and we pulled it off.
So what's the difference between XFL and NFL, like rules wise?
So there's some minor differences. So when it comes to like a kickoff, I don't know exactly. Like don't take my word for this. I think basically you're like, how like in the NFL, as soon as the ball is kicked, the runners start running towards the other team.
Right.
Like they're not like they're okay. Let's not talk about that. Here's the biggest difference. So when you score a touchdown, right? So you can't kick an extra point. You have to score an extra point, and there's 3 ways you can do it. You can do it from the 1-yard line, okay? And it's not a kick. You have to run it in or pass it. It's only worth 1 point. You can do it from the 3-yard line, run it in or pass it in. It's worth 2 points. Or you can do it from the 5 or I think it's the 6-yard line, and it's worth 3 points.
Oh, okay. So they don't have field goals.
No, they do have field goals, but they don't have extra point field goals.
Oh, I see. Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
That actually does make it a lot more interesting.
No, it is. I mean, I was very like, wow, this is kind of cool. Like, I'm liking this. And so Vince is definitely doing some shit, and AEW is doing some shit. So they're going after each other's neck right now, dude. Straight up. Straight up. So anyway,
well, that's good because that just means better content for all the fans.
It means better content for wrestling. It means better content for football. Straight up.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean,
and it's funny because there's been like so much resistance against the NFL for like players getting hurt and brain injuries and all that, and then the XFL comes out and it's like, no, we're going harder.
Well, I mean, it's just it's a whole different type of group of people. I mean, it's similar rules. These guys are younger. let's see where it goes.
Are they bigger? Are the XFL
No,
players
I
bigger?
mean, I would say they're about the same size. I would say NFL's probably got some bigger players. I mean, it's the NFL,
Okay.
man. Come on, think about that for a second. But,
Yeah, the NFL's still the big draw.
Well, NFL, their players they're more agile and they're quicker and they're almost smaller than they used to be, at least. Like,
yeah,
like
well,
20
you're
years ago,
talking about
those like big monsters.
Yeah, but you're talking about like receivers and things like that. I mean, you
Right.
still got the linemen and stuff and linebackers and stuff that they're
Even
still
running backs, dude.
Well, I mean, the running backs or the fullbacks. I mean, yeah, I mean, those are big dudes. I mean, but
they've become more agile dudes now to get out of situations.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, the game's always evolving. The rules are always changing, especially after the Saints got fucked like what, a year and a half ago with the Rams, that stupid pass interference call. They basically lost their chance to go to the Super Bowl.
Right.
Which they implemented the new rule now where they can review pass interference calls.
I thought they could always do that. No,
not until the 2018 season when the Saints lost to the Rams over a pass interference call, which wasn't really the Saints were in the right and the Rams were in the wrong, but the Rams won and went to the Super Bowl and lost to the Patriots.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's always changing, it's always evolving. I just wanted to bring that up.
Yeah.
So I think enough about that. I had a couple of topics I wanted to discuss. I mean, some of these things are stupid, but, let's just see what's going on in the world. I know we got Harvey Weinstein back in the news again, which I like to call him Hurricane Harvey Weinstein because he's such a scumbag. So, the Weinstein jury might be deadlocked on his most serious charges, is what they're saying. And, I mean, it's kind of it's not a long article. The jury in Harvey Weinstein's criminal case appears to have come to a verdict on some of the charges facing the disgraced producer. But its members remain deadlocked on the most serious charges, which could land him behind bars for life, as the NWO would say, for life. On Friday afternoon, this past Friday, the jury of 7 men and 5 women sent a note to Judge James Burke indicating they were hung on the two I just like that word, hung, on the 2 predatory sexual assault charges against Weinstein, Hurricane Harvey Weinstein, who's facing a total of 5 charges. A charge of predatory sexual assault requires prosecutors to demonstrate the Weinstein committed serious sexual assaults against at least 2 people, according to USA Today. The jury wanted to know what to do. We, the jury, request to understand if we can be hung on these charges, or 3, and unanimous on the other charges, the jury asked in the note, according to Variety. Which, okay, did I scramble that? I don't know. That sounded weird when
I don't know.
Regardless, Hurricane Harvey Weinstein is a scumbag, and he might be facing some serious charges, like life, if you don't ask me. I mean, if you ask me.
What are all the charges that he did?
I mean, I don't even know.
He was a rapist and sexually assaulted various women.
Well, the crazy thing, No Mercy and Young Money, Cash App, is it was once Harvey got hit, and we all know Harvey's a scumbag, right? But then next up in line was Kevin Spacey because he supposedly fondled some young boy, but there was never any proof of it. And then it was like 20 more after that, right? And I like the question.
I thought there was proof on the
maybe
Spacey guy.
I mean, maybe, but
did you hear about Kevin Spacey, the guy who was going to press charges against him? They found him dead.
I did not hear
right before the court date.
No, I did not hear about that.
Yeah, that happened.
Do you want to elaborate on that, or I mean?
Yeah, I'm looking up right now. No, that's what I heard. That right before the court case was going to happen, the accuser died, and it dismissed the case.
Oh wow!
So,
wait.
So
he got acquitted.
Yeah, it got acquitted because the accuser died.
Well, that sounds a little fishy to me.
I'm trying to find if he was murdered or not.
Sounds a little fishy to me.
Well,
Sounds like Kevin Spacey might have had someone either slip some ricin in his drink or something, like that Breaking Bad.
Yeah, I think they said he committed suicide.
Which
And,
which is
another Jeffrey Epstein
and
style.
Kevin Spacey even made like a video talking about it or referencing it, something in regards to this afterwards. I'm not sure what he said, but yeah. So
wow. No, I didn't hear about that, man. Or maybe I did and I just like slipped my mind. But all right, next segment. Next segment. So I thought this was kind of cool or an interesting topic. This is a headline. This is what happens when you take 550 doses of LSD at once. Accidental LSD overdoses are not fun. And fam, let me just tell you, I can speak from experience, not 550, but in my past, yeah, like I couldn't even imagine taking 550 doses of LSD. Just one is enough to make you talk to Mickey Mouse.
Right.
yeah, the average person. I mean, so many people would go fucking insane off of 500 hits, dude.
Insane. I mean, well, I don't think they'll ever come back from it.
Oh yeah, you won't come back from 550 hits of acid.
I mean, that's
you're
just
gone, dude.
I mean, that's just absolutely insane. So let me read this. Okay, so accidental LSD overdoses are not fun, but for some, they can have a bizarre beneficial effect. Now, I can understand that, okay, in a sense, because it does kind of open your mind to things you would. It's like it opens up brainwaves that you don't use, in a sense. And 550 hits. I mean, who knows what
you're busting down the door, dude.
I mean, you're
burning down the house.
You are literally speaking to the gods. Okay.
Oh yeah, dude.
So this is a long article, but I'm gonna kind of skim it. Around 10 p.m. at a summer solstice party somewhere in Canada on June 20th, 2000, about 20 people. About 20 people swallowed glasses of water mixed with powerful psychedelic LSD. A chemical play era caused them to take about 10 times more of the drug than they thought they were taking. For the 12 hours that followed, they would ride out one of the most intense experiences of their lives, one that would change them forever. Gram for gram, LSD is more powerful than the most recreational drugs. While most substances like MDMA or cocaine are active at the milligram scale, the effects of lysergic acid diethylamine manifest at the microgram scale, or 1/1,000,000th of a gram. An average hit of LSD is 1,000 micrograms. Think about that for a second. Think about how much Xanax. Okay, Xanax, 2 milligrams. One fucking hit of acid on average is 1,000 micrograms.
That's why it lasts for fucking 12 hours. You take one hit of acid and you're in another planet for 12 hours.
That's funny because let me keep going. A trip can sometimes last 12 hours or more, pumping up heart rate, intensifying colors and sound, the perception of time, because the LSD molecule, which mimics serotonin, has a lid, quote unquote, that locks into serotonin receptors. It can remain there hours. This is how low concentrations of the drug can be so potent. Because of the sensitivity, it can be easy to overdose on LSD. But what happens when people take extreme amounts of LSD? This is the subject of a new report co-authorized by Mark Hayden, the executive of MAPS Canada, which is, I think that's Weed Maps, maybe. Or I don't know. Anyways, and an adjunct professor at the University of British Columbia, which looked at extreme cases of LSD consumption, revealing some bizarre health outcomes. One of the cases covered in Hayden's study was that a 15-year-old girl with a bipolar disorder. She was one of the 20 people who accidentally OD'd on the on acid at the summer solstice party in Canada. She took a whopping 1,100 micrograms. So that's 1,100 hits.
Holy fuck.
For the next 6 hours, her behavior became erratic. She lay on the floor in the fetal position, tightly clenched her arms. Her friends thought she was having a seizure and called the ambulance.
I would take that much in Xanax to like stop that.
I don't even know if I'd want to mix that shit at that point.
I'd be like, stop button now.
Anyways,
stop button.
I don't know if it would be stop button. It might be stop heart. You're dead now. Although, anyway, although
I guess that works
let me finish. Although no one was sure if she was actually seizing, lost consciousness, or was just lost in the overwhelming experience. The next morning, her father visited her in the hospital. She told her dad, "It's over." He thought she meant the acid trip. She clarified that no, her bipolar illness, which had caused daily manic episodes, seemed to be cured. I can relate to that. A week later, her symptoms had still not returned. Wait, did I read that right? A week later, her symptoms had still not returned. Yeah, okay. Doctors followed her progress for over a year. And nearly 2 decades later, she still hasn't experienced an episode of depression or mania outside of postpartum depression. Looking back on the overdose, she said it felt like her brain chemistry had somehow been reset. Now, guys, can we all agree that if you've taken that shit or shrooms or whatever, it will reset your mind?
Definitely.
Even when you're off it, like you think differently about everything.
Oh yeah, the grass is even greener.
The grass is greener on the other side. The grass is greener on the same side.
Yeah. No, though the grass is greener on the other side. Like there's been times where I've tripped and the following day, it's still kind of lingering, and just everything just seems brighter, and colors seem brighter, and you're still able to acknowledge the other side that you were part of.
And the crazy thing is like you could like have taken acid years before, and all of a sudden like you go into a steam room or you smoke some weed or you do some other type of drug, and all of a sudden that acid will kick back in years later. It's crazy. It's insane. So I'm gonna stop on that topic. I just wanted to do that real quick. So real quick, guys.
Wait. So the moral of the story was the 550 times the 550 doses of LSD at once ended up being a good story?
Yeah, apparently so. Apparently this girl had some serious issues like mentally, and 20 years later she's like cured of her.
But that's a rare case, because for the person who doesn't have bipolar
rare
disease,
case, who the fuck
disease.
takes that much acid anyway?
If you had really bad bipolar, I feel like people become bipolar by taking too much acid.
I mean,
like, I don't know. I have personal people that are in my life, and they are fucked.
I mean, I can't really relate to it that much. But what I'm getting at is, this girl obviously had some mental issues. She took way too much acid on accident, and she had bipolar. And she comes back, and 20 years later, like she's like good. Like it cured her. I'm not saying people don't go out there and take that much acid. That's fucking crazy. But
if you have bipolar disease, then go out and take a bunch of acid.
Okay, no mercy. I don't. No. Do not advise people to do that on my show, please.
Only if you have bipolar.
I still have to disagree. Real quick, guys. I have to do a quick shout out to my lovely and very, very awesome sponsor over at Anchor. So I'm going to do a quick shout out to Anchor real quick, and then we're going to return to the show. All right? 1 second.
Got it.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Anchor, so much. We appreciate everything that you do for us. You got me on my feet. And anyway, so back to the show. The next topic I wanted to talk about was something else that was kind of interesting to me. Well, first of all, hold on. Guys, do you guys have anything to talk about?
Oh, do we?
I mean,
What about?
let's be realistic here. I mean, like, you can talk
I
about
mean,
whatever
no.
you
I mean,
want.
I'm looking at your
You're
notes you
looking at
sent
my
me.
notes, but I mean, those are my notes. So what about your notes?
Right.
Or just anything you guys want to talk about? Like, this is a free platform. You can talk about whatever you
Right.
want. It doesn't matter. Everybody loves this show. You can talk about whatever you want. Bring something up. Come on.
Okay, Young Cash App, you go.
What's going on in LA,
What
guys? Like, what's
what's going
the
on,
deal?
dude? LA, man. I don't know, man. Honestly, I haven't been out in LA in a minute. I've
I'm
been
not
chilling
talking
in the
about like
valley,
going out. I'm
working
just
on this
saying, like, I mean,
podcast.
like, do you guys have like anything specific that maybe happened that you'd like to talk about? Because, I have some news articles we can continue to talk about, but I also have some stuff that happened the other day that I'd like to talk about here in Houston. But I want to know what's going on in LA right now.
Well, Kobe died.
Well,
That
okay,
was pretty tragic.
R.I.P. Kobe and Gigi and the rest of the 7 crew on that
Dude,
helicopter.
that was a crazy morning, man. I was actually driving back from Koreatown back to the valley in Burbank where I live, and it was so foggy on the 10 because you have to take the 10 to the 5 to get into the valley, and you go through downtown when you do that, and you couldn't even see the buildings. It was so foggy and eerie, and it was the most foggy and eerie I've ever seen LA.
You know what's
And then I get
crazy?
back
They were
home.
going 180 miles an hour when they crashed into that mountainside.
Yeah,
That's insane.
yeah, and I got home, I passed out, I woke up, and I had gotten a text saying Kobe died, and it was just and I just had like a really really strange
And
feeling, and then the next like 4 days, LA was just quiet,
oh, I know.
like
And the crazy thing
everybody
was
was
the
affected.
night before, LeBron surpassed him in the most points scored over Kobe. The night before.
Yeah. He became like what, the third highest scorer of all
Yeah,
time?
third highest scorer the night before, and
Right.
then Kobe dies the next day. I was like, "What the shit?" I mean,
That's like some weird sort of like
is it a conspiracy? No, probably not.
yeah,
But
dude, that's what I'm thinking. I think there
no, I
might be
don't
a
think
little
it's a conspiracy. But I just thought that was insane. Like, he gets surpassed, and the next day he dies.
Did you see the next day ABC showed a like a Taliban member with a Kobe shirt on and an RPG?
I mean, dude, you know what? These days, like I tell all my listeners, you can't believe what the mainstream media tells you. They are paid to say what they say because if they don't, they get fired. Do your own due diligence. Do your own fucking homework. Like, don't just rely on one source or two sources. Like, yes, use that as a baseline to find out that, oh, this happened. Then dig deeper and find out maybe what really happened.
Right.
You know
No,
what I
for
mean?
sure. If you're interested in it,
I mean, yeah,
definitely
but I
check it
mean,
dig.
you guys are in media and shit, and I'm not.
Right.
But I mean, like, but I've always lived that way. I don't believe the fucking shit the news tells me. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a baseline for me, like, oh, this happened. Now let's dig deep and find out what really happened. It's kind of like, and I hate to go back and not a conspiracy theorist. I don't like to call myself one because I think the mainstream media is really the conspiracy theorists out there. It's kind of like the 9/11 thing. It's kind of like, okay, they say a plane hit the Pentagon, right? Well, how come
Right.
they haven't shown footage of a plane hitting a Pentagon?
Right.
All you see
Yeah,
is
no. And
clip,
for some
clip,
reason the
clip,
entire side of
boom.
that building was vacant when it hit too.
Yeah, so it's like do your homework. Do your homework. Like, and I've always said, like,
What's up?
nothing. My roommate's being a fucking cocksucker. He's like, shut up, you're screaming. So I guess
Who's
I
that?
get my T-Bass. I guess that's what I get for fucking living with roommates.
That's why I had my roommate become my co-host on my podcast.
So I'm gonna talk a little quieter to calm his fucking nerves, fucking asshole. Still, T-Bass, I love you, but fuck you. Anyways, so I'm gonna talk at a lower voice. I'm not gonna scream anymore. Anyways, so that being said, I don't believe what the mainstream media tells me. And that was the main point. The main point was is
Oh,
if
you can't.
well,
And
no,
then,
I know,
and then,
but that's the perfect example. It is. It's like, oh, yeah, the Pentagon got hit by an airplane, a fucking airliner. Wait a minute. If that's the case, do you know how hard it is to fly an airliner that low at that speed and hit a
Right.
building with, and also all the light poles that were, in the way? They weren't knocked down. The wings would have knocked them down. Okay.
Right.
So they were still standing. One, two, they never found any plane wreckage or bodies in there. It's never been proven. The 9/11 Commission report is a fucking total trash fucking joke. I think I'm not
I
saying
agree.
that I'm not saying the government did it. I'm saying they either knew something was going to happen or they're using it as they used it as a false flag operation to go and keep the Middle East destabilized so they could get the fucking oil. Which
Oh, yeah,
today,
for sure.
which still stands today.
And it's all for the bankers as well.
The bankers,
So
everybody.
yeah,
I mean,
there's a ton of people benefiting from that entire tragedy.
yeah, and you know who
It's
it
just
was?
that
Everybody likes to blame it on Bush.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
but you know who it really was, right?
yeah.
Cheney. It was
Yeah.
Cheney.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. He was just a puppet for Cheney.
They were all puppets, but Cheney was that administration. Bush was just like literally like
the figure.
yeah. I mean, he was a puppet. I mean, and Cheney's a puppet, but Bush was Cheney's lapdog. So was Tony Blair, Prime Minister Tony Blair from Britain.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a joke. It's a fucking joke. I mean, that whole thing. I mean, I know I'm not going off the movie Vice. I know if y'all have seen that movie, but that's a true story. I mean, it is. Cheney's a fucking piece of shit. I mean, he really is. I don't swing left. I don't swing right when it comes to politics. I'm impartial. I'm pretty very neutral. Did y'all watch the State of the Union speech with Trump?
No, I haven't.
Nancy Pelosi ripping up the speech and all that shit.
Oh yeah. I saw his speech. I didn't see her rip up.
I saw the ripping up part.
Okay, so I watched the entire thing, and Trump's a horrible speaker. He's always been a horrible speaker. He's like one of the worst speakers I think that we've had as a president, besides Bush, I think. But actually, he gave a good speech that night. Mm-hmm. He really did, in my opinion. It was over an hour long, but. At the beginning, when he walks up, Nancy Pelosi tries to, extend her hand to shake his hand, and he just snubbed that bitch, turned around, and then, and then he's talking. Well, no, he's talking, and he's giving the speech, which is I thought it was a great. I mean, I thought he did a very good job. I've never been fond of him. I thought he did a great speech. The whole Rush Limbaugh thing. Even though I don't really like Rush Limbaugh, he has cancer and shit. I mean, they gave him the Purple Medal of Honor or whatever whatever that fucking, and then as things winded down, when the speech was over, fucking Nancy Pelosi, which in my mind this is kind of funny, but it's also like, what the fuck? Like, she rips the speech up. It's like, bitch. Like, are you serious? Like, you don't do that. Now you just made yourself look so much worse.
Exactly.
And then the next day, Trump Trump was acquitted, and now he's not getting impeached. He's not getting thrown out of office.
And it's the same thing Trump did to get elected. How he snubbed all the Republican candidates to get to the primaries, and it's like he's that's what he's good at is making the other person. Look like the bad guy.
I mean, look, Trump is not your typical politician. He is the kind of guy, like, okay, Chris, you know me, right? I'm not a politician. But if I was the president, I would do whatever the fuck I want, right?
Right.
That's kind of like how I feel about how Trump's doing things.
Right. Yeah, no, we were talking about that on our last podcast, how like a lot of the things that he has done has been kind of for clout. Just like, oh, no other president has done this, it'll make me look good. If I go befriend North Korea, the North Korea leader, then that's going to make that's something that no other president has done.
Yeah, but that didn't go out. That didn't turn out too well.
Yeah, well, the whole concept was he's just going to go shake his hand, which is something that no other president has done. And it's like, okay, I made a landmark. Now I'm going to go make another landmark. Now I'm going to go make another landmark. And that's kind of just what he's been trying to do, like to like prove like I can just make landmarks. And if I get if I get kicked out of here, at least I did all these things.
Well, I honestly don't think any of these Democratic politicians that are running have a chance. But if any of them do, in my opinion, it's going to be either Bloomberg or it's going to be, I don't think it's going to be Pence. I think it's going to be Bloomberg. I hate to say this. I think it's going to be Bloomberg or Bernie.
Yeah, definitely.
Bernie.
I think ultimately it'll come down to.
But
yeah, you're right.
Bloomberg's a businessman. Bloomberg's a businessman. Bloomberg's a businessman like Trump, and he's been the mayor of New York, and he turned New York around after 9/11, after Giuliani's dumbass got out of fucking office.
Right.
I mean, so, I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I follow the laws of Tizonomics.
Yeah.
And that's my own way of thinking. But I just think I don't label myself. I follow my own. I wish Ross Perot would still be running because that'd be my guy. That old motherfucker.
Yeah.
But
no,
is he still
I would
alive?
definitely claim myself
Is he still
more
alive?
libertarian than anything.
Well,
I feel like it's
libertarian.
the original like equality.
Yeah, but there's some things that I disagree with libertarianism, but at the same time, I agree with you, No Mercy. I do, I really do, in a sense, I do. But it's still, it's just, it's irritating to me. I mean, look, I love what Trump's doing. It's good for my business. Okay, it is, and I'm not gonna say people have probably caught wind what I do for my business since I've been doing this pod. But I've never admitted to actually what I do for a living. But I do very well for myself, people, okay? I do. I've been kicking ass in the past 2 years. 2019 was a rough year for me, not financially, just personally. I lost a lot of friends. A lot of bad things happened. But financially, I did well. 2020 is already kicking off with a boom. And a lot of it's got to do with Trump. It really does. Okay, let's move off of Trump for a second here. What do you think about, and this is something that probably no one's really talking about lately, and I was thinking about it the other day, and I was a little like, why is this not ever being brought up anymore? Because it's like one of the biggest things. The 2017 Las Vegas shooting, that like happened, and then like people just stopped talking about it.
Right.
58 people were killed. And 413 people were wounded. And all of a sudden, it just, like, nobody talked about it anymore. So what's up with that?
Dude, that was a really crazy situation. And apparently there was other shootings that occurred around the same time period in different hotels that same night. Like it was
no. I looked that up. That was just a bunch of bullshit speculations because I saw the videos. It's not true. Now, well, I say it's not true. I can't verify that, but something is fishy to me, okay, about that. Because you're talking about the biggest mass shooting in American history, and all of a sudden they don't want to talk about it anymore. Like it's like they just like erased it from the books. What the fuck? Like what's up with that?
Right. Well,
just so much shit keeps happening in the world, and people have a small attention span as it is. But
they still talk about the Sandy Hook shooting today over that.
like the anniversaries and
That's
stuff.
yeah. I mean, it really depends on who's getting shot, because if it's a whole bunch of white, country artist fans, then they're gonna look past that than a bunch of small, children at an elementary
I
school.
understand that, but you're talking about the largest mass
Oh no,
shooting
I
in
understand.
American
Yeah, no,
history, and all of
100%.
a
That's the
sudden,
same thing with the Pulse nightclub shooting. Like
Yeah, I
you
was
don't hear
just
about
thinking. I
that.
was like, what about that the gay club in
you're
Orlando?
talking about the Orlando one. Well, okay, so but hear me out for a second. But this one was even larger,
Right.
and the fact that because I remember at the end of 2017, that a lot of these news stations do like a 2017 wrap up or whatever. They didn't even mention it.
Oh, right.
They didn't. Something is up. Something there was other, in my opinion, there was other motives there. I don't know what the
What
fuck
do
they
you think
were.
the motive was?
I
If
don't
it
know.
was,
I don't. I can't put my finger on it. I don't know. I do not
Is
know.
it to is it to do all these false flags that creates like
Well,
public
but I
unrest with
mean, the
gun
only
laws, and then
the
they
only
want to
yeah,
take them away?
that would be the only thing that I could think of that has to do with, like, bump stocks got banned about a year and a half later after that, and but I don't know, man. It just doesn't make sense. The biggest mass shooting in American history just goes quiet. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any
right?
sense. This guy Stephen Paddock, right? They said, I mean, they found him, self-inflicted gun wound,
Yeah.
but like something doesn't add up, man.
Well,
Well, that might be that. So he killed himself.
That's what they
so that
say.
might
But that's what they say.
he,
But who knows if he even did it? What if it was there was another motive there, from not the NRA, but like someone anti-NRA to do that, so they would fucking, you know, put more bans on guns and stuff. And this guy Stephen Paddock was just the guy they used, and then they murdered him, left him in the room. I mean, nobody knows, and they don't even talk about it anymore, which is the craziest thing. They literally, like, it was like it's been erased from American, not history, but
Well, that's because your average person is only going to talk and remember about something as long as the media is pushing it.
that's right.
Like
So they
the
stopped.
average
So
person
so,
just
so there's
watches
a
the news, and once they stop circulating that news story and they start going to other subjects, it fades out of out of the public's mind.
right, and they do that on purpose. So what are they hiding? What is being hidden here?
I think what's being hidden, I think it was a setup for sure. I think that Paddock was hired to do that,
I don't think
or
Paddock was
somebody
hired to
else,
do
or
shit.
somebody,
I think that it was done
or somebody.
professionally, and they used Paddock as a puppet who was
Oh,
probably
for sure.
already dead at the time. Because the thing about this, do you know how much casino security there is? Like, for him to walk into a casino with that many guns, that's impossible. They would
Yeah.
see that the moment he walked in the door.
Did they
So,
have security footage of him walking in the casino?
I think so. But regardless, like, it's a casino. There's cameras everywhere. How does that slip by? Something did not add up, and it still doesn't add up, and they don't talk about it. It's like
Yeah.
they just I mean, it
Well,
bothered me.
do you think that a lot of these mass shootings are false flags, including the one
No, no, no,
that
no, no,
happened
no,
in Connecticut?
no. I think a lot. There's a
Because
lot. I mean, some
they've
of them
said
are.
that.
I'm not calling it a false flag. No mercy. I'm not. What I'm calling it is some doesn't add up, and there's a motive behind it, and maybe it was to get rid of bump stocks. I don't know, but whatever. 58 souls were lost, and 430. Was it? What did I say?
It was an
413.
attack against the NRA.
413 people were wounded. Yeah, it was attack. But the thing is, it doesn't make
Country
sense
music
to me.
festival. Kill a bunch of these people who support bump stocks
I mean,
and
dude,
ammunition and guns.
Dan Blazarian was there
Oh yeah, I saw that. I saw those
recording
videos.
Dan
live.
Bilzerian was what?
He was there recording live on his phone, like as he was like getting shot at.
Yeah, he said
Running,
like some
running
girl's
with
head
his
just got
phone.
blown off next
Yeah,
to him.
he like
But
watched
what
the
if
girls.
he was in on it too?
No. Dan Blazarian was not in on it. He was at the goddamn concert.
No, man. I know.
You're right. You
But
never know. You never know. But I find that theory. I find that highly not unrealistic.
what's up is down.
Dan Bilzerian's just doing his own thing.
Yeah, dude. Dan Bilzerian's got so much money. I mean, what the fuck? I mean, he fucks mad bitches all day long, dude. I mean, he's 3 years older than I am. He has like almost $1 billion. Like, what the fuck does he need to be involved in some fucking shooting for?
Dude, what if the government's like, hey man, we'll get we'll
Chris, I mean, no mercy. Don't go down that road right now. Just stop it. Just stop. You know that this is you know there's something fishy about this, right? I mean, it smells fishy, right?
Just
something,
like pounding two girls.
Yeah, okay. I mean, look, man. All I'm saying is it sounds fishy to me, and I'm surprised that nobody has, brought it up. And it's like almost it went quiet, and it bothers me a little bit because it's like, dude, that was the largest mass shooting in American history, and like they're just going to stop talking about it. Like something's up.
Yeah,
something's up. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, fellas, but does that not sound fishy?
But like, you don't hear about any of the victims either.
Exactly.
Like it's not like you hear about the victims on social media or on news reports or on anything, dude. Like it's like 50 something people died, but where are they? Or like where are their families? Like what? They're just gone. They just disappeared.
I mean, I don't know. That's why I wanted to ask you guys about this.
I mean, I don't know either, but it does seem fishy that you don't hear about any of the families or the victims of the family, like any of the victims' family members or anything.
I mean, the fact that the media, even the mainstream media, just like drops it and doesn't even talk about it, just says something's up.
Dan Bilzerian doesn't even talk about it.
No, yes, he does. Yes, he does. I listened to an interview about him it.
Oh, he does?
Yeah, on the Joe Rogan interview on his podcast.
But that was when it happened.
Yeah, it was like a year afterwards.
Oh, it was a year after?
Yeah. It's crazy. I don't know, man. Life.
I mean, that's probably crazy. It wasn't a false flag because people actually were, murdered from that.
Well, it's a false flag operation basically is like, I'll give you a perfect example of false flag. Okay, call me a conspiracy theorist. 9/11, in my opinion, was a false flag operation to go destabilize the Mideast. Whether we knew about it or not, whether we had anything to do with it. Or another one, perfect example, Vietnam, the Gulf of Tonkin. We blew up our own ship. Mm-hmm. Okay, to make it seem like that Vietnam blew it up, and that gave us the right to go in and start a war that we lost, by the way.
I call it 50-50.
You call what 50-50?
No, but I agree with you. We always put ourselves in situations so that way the American people can have the government's back. Like, in order to when 9/11 happened,
that's the whole.
So that we can
that's
go
the whole point of. That's the whole point of a false flag operation. It's to get the public's back to go do what they think needs to be done, even though there's stuff going on behind the scenes that the public is so ignorant and they don't know about. They're just like, yeah, fuck the Middle East, fuck Afghanistan, fuck Iraq, let's go kill them all. Even though Iraq had nothing, I mean, absolutely nothing to do with 9/11.
Right. Because the Taliban was Afghanistan, correct?
Well, I mean, supposedly, quote unquote, what they say. Can you believe them? I don't know. I don't believe the shit anything the
I
government
don't
tells
know.
me.
He just sounds like a comic book villain. Lives in a cave.
I mean, dude,
Fucking as a billionaire.
we supplied
He
him.
keeps getting
We
away.
supplied them with weapons, the Taliban, and we did. I mean, those weapons they were using, the guns and shit, those are American-made weapons. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
So it's crazy, but this shit's been
Russia
going on.
also supplies them with their weapons too.
Yeah. But I mean, this goes. I mean, you could take this back to JFK if you wanted to.
Let's do it.
No, I don't want to do it. I'm just saying, like, JFK was murdered because, in my opinion, he was doing something that a lot of the other people in the government didn't want him to do, which let LBJ, once he was killed, the vice president LBJ, Lyndon Johnson,
Lyndon B. Johnson.
Lyndon B. Johnson became the president, and then started the Vietnam War with a false flag operation in the Gulf of Tonkin.
Right.
So politics are fucked. They're fucked. Now, last second.
It is when you definitely get to that hierarchy, like when you're up past a little bit past the federal level. Well, I mean, that highest you can go is federal, but when you're just like at that top level of government,
Do you think that we're just being lied to by every single media source, or like
yes.
No, listen, even like what we were taught in school, like science, and just everything has always been
science is a different story because I'm a math guy. I'm a science guy because the reason why math makes sense to me, numbers add up eventually to something. Science,
numbers are real,
right? Science makes sense to me, but English I was horrible at. Like telling stories, like spinning stories. Like no, there's always something fishy going on, man. Always. Doesn't matter. The government is...
What's your thought on flat Earth?
Oh, don't get me started on flat earthers, please. Jesus Christ, don't do it.
Okay. Just real quick, like two words. Are we on a flat Earth? Yes or no?
Fuck no. Jesus, no.
All right.
Okay, then what shape is it?
The Earth is a fucking circular / oval planet that is tilted at 20 sphere. Sorry, it is tilted at 23.5 degrees. Okay, so in the summertime in the North America,
you got the degrees.
Yeah, so in the summertime, for the northern hemisphere, the sun that's our summer. The northern hemisphere, that's our summer. The Arctic is getting basically 24 hours a day of sunlight, and then in the winter, it's the opposite. Antarctica. The other day, I read an article that it was about a week ago, Antarctica recorded 65-degree weather, Fahrenheit, okay? That was hotter than Orlando, Florida on the same day.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I presume that's never happened in the history, right?
No, because the highest before, not to say it's 65 every day, but that one day, the highest recorded temperature before that in Antarctica was 55. So you're talking about a 10-degree jump.
Yeah.
So for all you dumb flat earthers out there, think about this for a second. How the fuck would it make sense for the fucking North Pole to be at negative temperatures when you have 65-degree weather on the southern part of the fucking planet? Does that not make sense, flat earthers? Because if it doesn't, I got 2 words for you. Suck it. Sorry if you guys are flat earthers.
Case dismissed.
Case dismissed, and get the fuck out of here.
But I feel like you always have to ask that question nowadays.
No, you do. I mean, are y'all flat earther believers? Seriously?
I'm not a flat earther.
What about you?
But I do like hearing people who are flat earthers try to explain themselves.
No, they're not allowed.
I was raised back in the time when we had 9 planets and Pluto was a planet, dude.
So, yeah, well, no. Same here. And Pluto technically is not a planet, but it's part of the not the asteroid belt, but the
Milky Way.
no, the fucking the
Solar system.
no, dude. God damn it, Chris. Or no mercy. The
Sorry, no mercy.
there's the asteroid belt in between Mars and Jupiter, and then after Pluto, you have the what's that belt called? It's like the ice belt or
The ice
the
belt.
no. Hold on. Pluto. Still bear with me. Pluto.
Yeah, we're here.
Ice belt. It's called the. It's on the tip of my tongue. The Kuiper belt. The Kuiper belt. It's basically a bunch of frozen asteroids, and Pluto's just the biggest one.
Okay, Kuiper belt.
Yeah, Kuiper belt. So Pluto technically was considered a planet at one point, but it's just one of the big. It's just a big frozen asteroid, the largest out of the Kuiper belt.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, look, flat earthers, don't listen to my fucking show. If you listen to this show, unsubscribe and go straight to your fucking flat earth hell, if that even exists.
Oh well, they definitely believe in hell.
Well, good. They should, because that's where they're going. And I have no mercy. I have no mercy. No mercy.
Dude, that's hilarious.
I mean, this is the Tiz Talk podcast, dude. This is what we do. We call people out. We talk about what's going on in the world, and I'm gonna state my opinion, whether anybody likes it or not. Fucking sue me, come after me, fact check me, but you'll never beat me. I'm unbeatable. Don't make an enemy out of the Tiz, because I will come at you. I will come at you at your neck, and I will make your life a living hell. And Mercy, you know me. I'm relentless. I will do that.
I've seen it.
Yeah, okay, there you go. Thank you. By the way, fuck Johnny Adams. By the way, fucking
Off the wall. It's like computers, technology, comedy, off the wall. Information news.
Oh man, I love this shit, man. You know why I love this shit? Because this is so therapeutic for me, just to talk. People tell you, Tiz, you need to go see a psychiatrist. You're a little out of control. I'm like, fuck you. I don't need to do shit. I got my own podcast. That's my therapeutic shit. All right.
Right.
Fuck off. Like,
what's the future looking like for your podcast? What are you trying to do?
Well, I'm about to upgrade. I'm about to rent out a little studio. I got some new equipment coming in. With 1,300 followers, I want to try and triple that by June.
Nice.
Yeah,
dude. Whenever you get your camera up, let's plan on getting. We'll do a Skype call, and have you on our podcast.
Oh, I'm always down. So the last question I have to talk to you guys about, then we're going to cut it. What are your thoughts on this Astros cheating scandal?
I'm rooting for them even more now.
Oh, okay. Thank you for saying that, because I am too.
Yeah, dude. I mean, the Astros got fucking snitched on. Like every team in the ML, fucking every baseball team was like stealing signs and doing shit. I mean, I forgot what team it was that snitched on the Astros. But it was like, dude, it was just like a long chain of like people snitching on each other. It's like, fuck it, dude. Houston needed that. It was like Hurricane Harvey.
Well, I mean, okay.
I mean,
think about
bring it back. I mean, we can win without cheating, but it's like
no. Okay, but think about this for a second. All right. Okay, let's just say hypothetically, yes, they were cheating, and the fact that they apologized, that's admission of guilt, which I thought was the dumbest thing they could have ever done.
Yeah, they need to stop fucking doing that, dude. When I saw them going on like live television, all those players were like admitting to it, saying sorry and all that shit. It was like, dude, stop.
But at the same time, it wasn't all of them. Okay, I think there was something going on. Of them. Right, but that same season, they had better hitting averages on the road than they did at home. So how does that fit into the picture?
Well, they can cheat when they're away, right?
No. How are they going to fucking put a camera in somebody else's fucking stadium? No mercy.
Dude, it's easy to put a camera
No,
up, man.
no,
I
no,
got
no, no, no,
two
no, 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 no.
looking at me right now.
No mercy. What I'm saying is if they had a camera at home
You
stadium,
can
there.
attach a camera to a laptop, and whoever's
Okay,
doing the cheating can sit on that
No,
laptop.
what I'm saying is that if it happened at home, okay, but there on the 2017 season where they won the World Series, they had higher hitting and home run averages at away games than they did at home. So how the fuck is it? I mean, so basically what that did is it saved them from getting them stripped from their World Series title.
Right.
That's
Because they're actually good players.
Yeah, I mean they are. I mean to hit a fastball, I don't care if you're cheating or not. At 95 miles an hour and slam it out. I mean, fuck, dude. But the thing is now if their away hitting was lower, then we might have had a problem. But the fact that they did have higher, I think that saved their championship not getting taken away from them. This ain't no Reggie Bush Heisman takeaway thing. No.
Right, because it gives them credibility.
It gives them credibility that they're actually good fucking baseball players.
Right.
And I don't give a fuck what anybody has to say. If you are an Astros hater because of this shit, I got 2 words for you. Suck it. And suck it.
Yeah. I think no matter what, like the pitchforks are going to come out, especially if it's not your team.
Well, it's like, Chris, it's like the fucking steroid scandal.
Right, exactly.
It opened up. It's going to open up a book of worms. You think the Astros were the only ones doing this shit? No. I guarantee you.
Everyone's going to. I
guarantee you, there were other teams that were doing similar shit, but the Astros got the finger pointed, and now there's a whole can of worms has been opened up, and now there's the investigation is going to go deeper and deeper, and it's going to show that there were way more teams that were doing this shit besides the Astros. Astros are getting the heat because they got the World Series that year. That's the only reason.
Well, and it's like, when Lance Armstrong, when he went on Oprah and confessed that he was cheating, it was like everyone hated on him. But I was like, damn, what, dude, he has some balls just to go on national television and admit that he cheated in order to receive all those wins, and all these people admired him because he had testicular cancer and he got through it, and he won the Tour de France I don't know how many times, but a bunch, and all these people looked up to him. There's all these organizations, and then he admitted that he cheated, and it was like pitchforks are out. Everyone who was his fan all of a sudden turned on him, and it was like I remember my mom was like, I can't believe he did that, blah, blah, blah. It's like, dude, he went on and, had the balls to admit that he cheated.
You mean he had...
I don't know what...
Oh, wait. You mean he had the ball. One ball.
Yeah, he had the one touch. He had the one touch to pull up.
Because they only had one ball.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's funny. Oh, man. All right, guys, I think it's time to wrap it up. This has been a great show. We should do this more often.
Yeah, man.
Definitely.
When you get your laptop and everything together, we'll Skype you in and we'll do. I'll host you on ours.
Well, hold on. Shout out to. Is it Red Boy Blue Boy?
Red Boy Blue Boy podcast. You can find it on YouTube. We do a live stream.
And we're gonna
go daily.
Well, no, but, I've been trying to. I told him that's ill-advised. Y'all need to do it 3 times a week max, and don't do it every day because it's too much content. Nobody's going to want to listen to that shit every day.
Eventually it will be like a very sporadic and spread out episodes, but right now we're just trying to dial it down and make good episodes.
That's
and then
fine.
Once that happens,
but do you hear how good this episode is? And I do this is my it's been 4 days since I've dropped a pod. So
once you start putting up cameras and other stuff, graphics and all kinds of stuff, it's a different thing.
It's about the anticipation
Right. I agree
They
with
want
that
to
for
wait.
sure.
They're like, ooh, hungry for another podcast. You pulling out every day. It's like, yeah, I get it, but like, build up, like find some things to talk about and then do it. Don't do it every day because, you want your audience to be like eager to listen. And if you do it every day, then they're like, okay, well, what one's going to come out today and we're going to hear it. You want them to be excited and wait for it. Build the anticipation.
That's true. But see, right at this point, we don't even have an audience.
Yeah.
So we're just trying to get content out to appear in YouTube's algorithm.
Well, that's fine.
But you've got a smart approach to it too. You definitely don't want to fucking dry it out, use it up like you're saying. So I mean, we're just trying to find a balance of that right now.
It's a learning process, my friend. It's a learning process. I started off doing this shit like not knowing how the fuck I was doing anything, and now I've gotten lots of love, lots of followers, and I keep it at a steady rhythm. About 2 to 3 pods a week, and I don't have the video yet, but I will. But I'm just it's something that people listen to while they're on their drives to work or their drives to wherever the fuck they're going. And dude, I mean, my poor mother, Jesus, she listens to all these episodes, and I mean, I cuss my ass off and I say some nasty shit. But she loves it though. She loves it.
Shout out to Tiz's mom.
Yeah, love you, mother. Love you, mama. To the day I die. But gentlemen, Young Money, Cash App, No Mercy, Tiz Talk, Chuck Tiz. Peace be with you, fellas. We're gonna sign out. As I like to end my shows, I always like to let my fans know: 1, don't do anything stupid. 2, get your mind correct. 3, keep your mind correct. And we're gonna end it at that. Do y'all have any last words before we end this show?
That was an awesome podcast. I'm looking forward to the next one.
Oh, it's gonna.
Yeah, thanks for having us on.
Oh
Thanks for
man,
having us on.
It's his top podcast, dude. We're taking over the world, man. Like Pinky and the fucking Brain.
Hell yeah.
All right, buddies. Well, listen. Thanks for joining the show. This will be posted tomorrow morning. You can listen to it on Apple Pod. No Mercy. Call me tomorrow. I'll tell you how to get yours on all the platforms. And let's go from there. But gentlemen, again, thank you for joining me and making this podcast such a special thing for me because I love having special guests. I hope you guys enjoyed the content and the way I run my show. And
Definitely.
Yeah. And I'm here as not just a mentor, I'm here to help. I want to see you guys prosper.
Right. Thanks, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, No Mercy. You got to bring Cash Money Young App out to Houston.
Dude, he's from Houston.
I'm from Houston. Me and Chris went to college together.
Yeah.
Oh shit, I didn't know that. So you H-Town down.
Yeah.
Oh shit, son. Get your mind correct, dog. Paul Walker me now.
Hell yeah, dude.
You know what it is. But all right, guys, we're gonna sign off. Like I said, peace be with you. Don't do anything stupid. Get your mind correct. Keep your mind correct. Peace out. No Mercy. Money, Cash App. We're doing it's 2020. It's our decade. Peace be with you. We will talk to you next time. All right, guys. We out.
All right. Peace, brother.